Hello everyone, this is Manohar Reddy, Department of Cybersecurity, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today I am going to explain you the concept of Angry IP Scanner tool. Angry IP Scanner tool. So generally we are having different types of network scanner tools. And those all the tools are used for different purposes. So among that all the network scanners tools, the Angry IP scanner is one such a type tool. Angry IP scanner tool is one such a tool. So here the scanning of the Angry IP scanner tool is the scanning of computer networks. That is nothing but searching for addresses with known properties. Is a practice that is often used by both network administrators and crackers. So here the scanning purpose is for what? To know the different details about the systems, different details about the hosts, different details about the network and all. So here scanning of computer networks is the practice that is often by use both network administrators and crackers. So they can do this process, they can do this scanning process, they can do this reconnaissance process. So scanning of computer networks that is nothing but searching for the addresses with some known properties. So here Angry IP scanner is widely used open source and multi-platform network scanner. So Angry IP scanner is one such a tool which is open source tool, and it is a multi-platform network scanner tool, So as a rule, almost all such programs are open source. Because they are developed with the collaboration of many people without having any commercial goals. So securing the networks are possible only with the help of open source systems. Open source systems and tools. So there are a lot of open source tools are there. For that, one technique is called as open source intelligence gathering also. So that is nothing but OSINT tools, which is used for finding the relevant information of any tools, of the search contents. So such as tools possibly received by thousands of independent experts and hackers alike. So securing networks are possible only with the help of these open source systems and tools, so possibly that is reviewed by thousands of independent experts and hackers also. So there are other network scanners in existence, especially single host port scanners. However, the same level of extensibility and user friendliness as Angry IP scanner. So Angry IP scanner aims to be very friendly to novice users as well as So how we are going to install this Angry IP scanner? So what is the purpose of installing this Angry IP scanner? So we have to look it once. So download Angry IP scanner latest version from official website as Angry IP scanner. If you type the Angry IP scanner, then the official website will be displayed. So from that you can download the Angry IP scanner tool for Windows, Mac or Linux also. After downloading it, double click on the downloaded file to start installation. So after downloading it, double click on the downloaded file to start installation. So after double click, there will be a file, there will be a set of file will be downloaded. File will be downloaded. So after downloading that one, double click on that file, double click on that file. So we can also say that Angry IP Scanner is an application software also, an application software also. So that is why we can install it and we can uninstall it, we can install it and uninstall it. So if you have any problem with the installation, then remove or modify that or change that or repair that, or else you can uninstall that one. So after double clicking on it, the installation process will start. The installation process will start, and choose the options and click on the next till installation is completed. Till installation is completed. So now we'll see the screenshots of installation procedure. So first of all, double click on the installation file. After double clicking on the installation file, the Angry IP Scanner symbol is like this, and it displays "Welcome to the Angry IP Scanner 3.4.2 setup." And the setup will guide you through the installation of Angry IP Scanner 3.4.2. And it is recommended to that close all other applications before starting setup. And this will make it is possible to update relevant system files without having to reboot your computer. So click on next. So this window is displayed after double clicking on the setup file. Now click on the next. Now click on the next. So after clicking on the next, it is asking you to choose the installation location. Choose the installation location. So where you have to choose the file, where you have to install your file. So choose the folder in which to install Angry IP Scanner tool. So here setup will install Angry IP Scanner tool is by default it is taking as a location C program files, C drive program files, and in that the system automatically creates one folder with the name of Angry IP Scanner. There it shows that there it finds that installation procedure. So now click on install. So now click on install. So after clicking on that install, it is going to be getting started. It is going to be getting started. So here Angry IP Scanner is an IP address scanner tool. Is an IP address scanner tool, and it is used for scanning of IP addresses with the goal of finding alive hosts and gathering interesting information about each of them. So it is used for what purpose? It is used for what? Scanning of IP addresses with the goal of finding alive hosts. So what is the main goal of IP scanner tool? The main goal of IP scanner tool is for what? Finding the alive hosts and gathering interest information about each of them. So you can start by specifying the IP addresses to scan. So you can start by specifying that IP addresses to scan. So your local IP is entered by default. So your local IP is always entered by default, and clicking the start button. So now click on the next button. So after clicking on the next button, so it is asking you to choose the environment setup and all, and it is going to be completing the Angry IP Scanner setup after doing all the possibilities sequences. So now clicking on the finish option. So now the installation is finished. So now open the Angry IP Scanner tool to perform scanning. So how you are going to perform the Angry IP Scanner tool with the help of Angry IP Scanner tool? How you are going to perform the scanning? So the scanning procedure is same for all the operating system with the tool as seen in the next figure. So there are based on the type of operating system, the type of scanners are also going to perform different scanning techniques. So here how a main window of Angry IP Scanner 3.x looks like on various operating systems. So here the IP scanner, this is the way of doing scanning actually. So this is Windows 10 operating system. After installed Angry IP Scanner tool, it displays like this, and which is having the fields like IP range, which is from starting by default your local address, by default your system address is going to be displayed to which range. So you have to mention, you have to select the drop down IP range, and the host name also it is taken by default from your system, and the TCP or IPR it is has to mention. Then click on the start option, click on the start option. So this indicates that what the angry IP scanner goal is, what actually to find the angry IP scanner tool goal is what, tool goal is to find living hosts, to find living hosts or alive hosts, right? To find. So for that you are specifying the IP range, you are specifying the IP range, that is what 195.80.116.0 to 195.80.116.255. So that is the range. That means you are going to perform the scanning in between 0 to 255 systems, 0 to 255 IP addresses. So all these IP addresses scanning result will be with the help of these fields. So what is the type of IP, and whether it is pinging or not, and what is the host name, and what are the ports numbers, and web detected. So after performing scanning, all it displays all the performed scanning result, performed scanning result. All the result will be displayed. So how it displays? So total number of IP addresses scanned, and total number of IP addresses are alive, and the total number of ports scanned, and all this information will be displayed after performing entire scanning, so this is what done in the Windows operating system, Windows 10 operating system, Windows 10 operating system. And you can see Ubuntu operating system also. So Ubuntu is nothing but it is one type of Linux distribution, so there also it mentioned that it is asking you to mention the IP range that you have to give. So 195.80.1162 up to 186. So it displays all the ranges of IP addresses. So suppose this is 186 to 206, then it displays all the relevant information. So it contains what the fields IP field is, whether it is pinging for what time, whether it is 18 milliseconds, how much time taken to pinging that host, how much time it is taken to pinging that IP addresses, and the host name, is that available or not, and how many number of ports are displaying, 443, 880, 443, all the ports are displayed. And the web detects, is there any servers are going to be detected. So Debian version is detected, Debian Apache is detected. So like that it displays in the Ubuntu angry IP scanner, displays all the details which are going to be somewhat extremely it is going to be displayed. And similarly older Mac OS X, there also it displays the IP ranges, same IP ranges, which is from 43.1 to 43.255, and the host name is somewhat is going, and the IP is having takes the net mask as one, and start the process. So it displays all, and it displays the same IP addresses, how it contacted and what time it takes to contacting, and the host name is what, and the number of ports displayed, 15 plus or 14 plus or 2 plus or 3 plus, and what is the web detection also. And older Linux also same, having the IP ranges, host name, IP, type of start, and it displays all the IP addresses along with the ping command, so how much time it taken to ping that particular website, ping that particular IP addresses, and what is the host name that you are going to mention, and how many ports are displayed, whether it is 5 plus or 4 plus or 6 plus. And web detection, so web detection also it displays, is there any server is attempted or not, it displays. And Windows 7 Vista also. So performing scanning is a common for all the operating system. So performing scanning for all the operating system is same, but the result is also displaying with the help of IP addresses and pinging time, how much time it is contacted to reach this target, and what is the host name of the target, and time to live. So mentioning that time to live also is extra added in the in this Windows 7 or Vista, and the number of ports that are displayed, and the host names also. But in this web detection is not possible. Web detection is not appeared. So that is what somewhat difference than this Windows 7 and others operating systems and other operating systems. And the Windows XP also, in the Windows XP also web detection is there, but it is not displaying the time to live. It is not having the time to live function. It is not having the time to live field. So this same IP ranges is there. IP ranges are giving and displays. It indicates that all the green marks are indicating that alive hosts, so that it is contacting with the help of 123 milliseconds here 760 76 milliseconds, 66 milliseconds, all those will be having. So this is the way of performing all scanning procedure in the Angry IP Scanner tool. Angry IP Scanner process is doing in all operating systems. So steps to process the scanning. So what you need to do? You need to do what? Install the software. First of all, install the software. Then next launch the application. Install the software. Then next launch the application. And then next perform basic subnet scanning. And scan the local network for single port. Scan the local network for range of ports. Then next export the scanning result and access ancillary tools. So these are all the steps for installing the software and then launching the software. Then next performing basic subnet scanning and mention that single port and range of ports, and after displaying all the result, export them into scanning result. So we will see how it is going to be downloaded from the net. We will see now. So how can we download it from the net actually? So here you can type like what? Angry IP Scanner tool. You can directly type Angry IP Scanner tool, which is available in official website. So here Angry IP Scanner tool, download for Windows, Mac or Linux operating system. So after clicking on this official website, you can find here download for Windows, Mac or Linux. So here currently the Windows installer is there. So click on this Windows installer. So now it is going to be downloaded, and which is having the IP Scanner 3.9.0 setup file. So now it is installed. Now it is downloaded. So you can see here IP Scanner 3.9.0 setup. Double click on this one. So it is asking you to Microsoft Defender Smart Skin Prevented and unrecognized app from starting. Running this app might put your risk at risk. So somewhat firewalls are not able to installing your application softwares on the system, so that we may not be able to install it. So this is the way we can understand that the process of scanning actually. So after installing that one, if your system firewalls or if your system's configuration systems may be secure, then you are not able to install some other softwares. So at that moment, you have to do what? You have to make compromise with your system. So that for that we are going to make a different scenarios for the different softwares. So that is the tool which we are going to use for the scanning of the system. So once again we will revise the topic which we discussed in this session. So what we discussed in this session, we discussed only the Angry IP Scanner tool, how it is going to be installed, and what is the use of Angry IP Scanner tool. So performing scanning technique, performing scanning for the range of IP addresses, performing scanning for the range of IP addresses is very important. So the Angry IP scanner is a open source tool, and it is a multi-platform network scanner also. It is an open source tool, and it is a multi-platform scanner also. And the main goal of Angry IP scanner tool is what? To find the alive hosts, range of IP addresses. In that range of IP addresses, to finding the alive hosts is important. So for that, we are going to install from this downloading official website Angry IP scanner tool. After double click on this one, click on the next option. Then it is asking you to choose install location. So by default it takes program files in the IP scanner folder is created. So by default it is creating one Angry IP scanner folder in the program files. After that, clicking on install. So here it is asking you to clicking on next by displaying all the information. So here you will know what is the Angry IP scanner tool exact use. So which is an IP address scanner tool. It is used for scanning of IP addresses with the goal of finding alive hosts, and gathering interesting information about each of them. That means each and every IP having some certain sort of information. So you can start by specifying the IP addresses to scan. So to do the scanning process, we have to mention that what range of the IP addresses. We have to mention 192.168.1.0 to 192.168.1.14. So like the way you have to mention the range of IP addresses. So after completing this tool, you are going to use for the different operating systems. So here all the operating systems having the same principle to scanning the Angry IP scanner tool for the IP addresses, but displaying the information some operating system. Windows 7 operating system will not having web detect. Windows 7 is not having time to limit, but Windows 10 is having time to limit but not having web detect. So like the way, so each and every IP address is interesting information which is contacted to this IP address within the 9 minutes, and what is the host name of that IP address, and what is the port name of the IP addresses, and what is the web server which is detected for this IP addresses. So all the interesting information we are going to gather by performing this Angry IP scanner tool. So this is the Windows 10 tool, and this is the Ubuntu tool. So in the Ubuntu is also one type of Linux distribution. So there are Linux distributions are more important, more secure than the Windows operating system, because all the Linux is having a separate secure system for all the each and every files, each and every user management and everything. So old Mac OS also having the same technique for the scanning of IP addresses, and older Linux also, Windows 7 Vista also, and Windows XP also. And last steps to process the scanning. So after installing the scanning technique, we have to mention IP addresses range. We have to mention the IP address range. After mention the IP address range, perform scanning. So it takes somewhat time. To perform complete scanning. After completing the scanning, it displays alert message with alert window what scan has completed. Scanning is completed. Total number of IP addresses scanned 256. Total number of alive alive 186, total number of ports 4 plus, and the time it takes for scanning 20 seconds. Like the way all the information is displayed, like the way all the information is displayed after performing the scanning. And you can export the result also. You can export the result into notepad or excel or anything, any document you are going to export the result of the scanning technique. So this is the way we have to install and we have to download and install and perform scanning technique on different operating systems. On different operating systems. So in the real-time hackers and experts, technical experts are going to be use this type of tools. Not only Angry AP scanner tool, some of the different scanner tools also helpful to perform different scanning process. So that is about the Angry AP scanner tool. Thank you all.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.